Todd Young Online presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story, Bulfinch's mythology, King Arthur and his knights, the story of the Round Table. In the great hall of Camelot, beneath the banners of the dragon and the cross, stood the most wondrous work ever wrought by mortal hands, the Round Table of King Arthur. Merlin the enchanter had shaped it in the days of Arthur's youth, carving upon its rim strange runes of prophecy. 13 seats it held, 12 for the noblest knights, and one forever empty, the perilous seat. Merlin had made the table in memory of the 12 apostles, and the one who betrayed them. The 13th chair, the siege perilous, no man might occupy, save he destined to achieve the greatest of all quests. For those unworthy who dared to sit there, the earth itself would open and swallow them whole. Upon every seat was written by magic the name of the knight to whom it belonged, appearing in letters of light. When one of their numbers fell, his name remained, until a worthier could take his place. One seat stood vacant 10 long years, that of Morant of Ireland, who had fallen beneath the sword of Sir Tristram of Lyonesse. Now Arthur took Tristram by the hand and led him to the chair. As he sat, the hall filled with sweet music, the air with fragrance, and the name of Morant vanished in fire, replaced by Tristram, blazing in letters of gold. Then, by the law of the Round Table, the clerks brought forth the record scrolls, and Tristram was required to tell the deeds by which he earned that seat. When he had spoken of dragons slain, of wrongs avenged, of Isolde the fair, redeemed from peril, the king himself rose and embraced him. "Welcome, Sir Tristram of Lyonesse," Arthur said warmly. "True knight of courage and courtesy, sit among us, and may honor shine in all you do." The knights applauded, for none doubted his worth. But not all hearts were glad. Far away in Cornwall, King Mark, Tristram's uncle, brooded in bitterness. His queen, Isolde the Fair, still loved Tristram more than crown or court, and each tale of his triumph stung the knight's pride like a blade. "If I cannot have peace in my heart," said Mark darkly, "neither shall he. I will follow him to Arthur's hall and strike him down when none suspect." So he disguised himself, taking 2 knights from his court, men he thought loyal, and 2 maidens to attend Isolde. With her faithful servant Brengwain, they set forth towards Camelot. When they neared the city, Mark confided his foul purpose to his companions, but the knights recoiled in horror. "Shame, my lord! Never will we aid treachery. We go now to Arthur's court to expose this crime." Mark, fearing betrayal, rode ahead alone, but fortune turned against him. For at a crossroad he met a company of Arthur's knights, who had with them the king's jester, Dagonet, a fool in body, but bold in heart. Seeing Mark's Cornish armor, they decided to make sport. They armed Dagonet in Sir Kay's spare harness and sent him forth, declaring him Sir Lancelot du Lac. When Mark beheld this crooked, laughing figure approaching and heard him shout, "I am Lancelot of the Lake, defend thyself," terror seized him. He turned his horse and fled at full speed, pursued by their laughter ringing through the woods. Meanwhile, Isolde remained at a quiet abbey with Brengwain and her maiden. In the garden there flowed a clear fountain beneath the shade of trees. There she would sit, dreaming of her love, and play soft airs upon her harp. "Sweet silence, shadowed bower, and verdant lair, ye called my troubled spirit into peace. Yet here I wake, each echo with despair. Her love's sweet pain will never cease," she sang softly. But one who lurked nearby heard the song. The villainous Bruce the Pitiless, a knight who had felt Tristram's sword and hated him with all his soul. Hearing the name Tristram upon her lips, he rushed from hiding and seized her. Brengwain shrieked, and Isolde fainted. Bruce, forced to pursue his escaped horse, left her lying by the fountain, and there, by God's mercy, came a knight who heard the cries. He charged the caitiff without a word. Spears splintered, swords rang, Bruce fell, feigning death, and when the knight turned to aid the ladies, fled into the forest. The rescuer knelt beside Isolde, lifting her head gently. But when her golden hair fell aside and her face was revealed, the knight gave a cry and fell senseless. "Help! My lady! He swoons!" Ringwayne said, astonished. When they raised his visor, they saw the face of Sir Tristram. At her touch, he woke, and their eyes met, filled with wonder and tears. Isolde said softly, "My love, my heart knew you were near." Tristram said, "And mine has never left you. By the law of the Round Table, every knight newly sworn must spend 10 days in adventure proving his worth. Tristram had completed 7 when fate brought him to that forest. For the remaining 3 days, he guarded Isolde at the abbey, their hearts at peace for the first time in years. When those days were done, he escorted her and her maidens safely to Camelot, where they were greeted by Sir Launcelot and Queen Guinevere with great affection. But when Queen Mark arrived, his treachery was laid bare by the very knights who had abandoned him. Brought before King Arthur, he confessed his crime. The king, merciful but stern, declared, "Since blood was not shed, your life is spared. But harm that boy again, and my wrath shall follow you to the grave." Before the whole court, peace was made. Mark and Isolde returned to Cornwall. Tristram remained in Camelot, honored as one of the greatest knights to ever grace the Round Table. In the days that followed, Tristram took up his harp once more and sang of that bright journey through the woods, the happiest hours of his life. "With fair Isolde and with love, ah, how sweet the life I lead. As she wills I live and move, as cloudless days to days succeed." So shone the fellowship of the Round Table, bright as gold, unbroken by envy, bound by courage and faith. But even as joy filled the halls of Camelot, Merlin's prophecy whispered through the empty, perilous seat that one day soon a new name would blaze upon it, and the Grail would appear. And here's where we end for today. Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from Todd Young Online. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.